Now in this video, I'll give you a head-to-head comparison between the iPhone 11 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. If you guys are choosing between these two phones, so keep watching. Hey, what's up guys, Adam Lobo here and you're watching Adam Lobo TV. If you guys are new, hello and welcome. Do consider subscribing to my channel as I release videos at least twice a week. And if you're returning as a subscriber, let the battle begin. Now just so you guys know why I'm comparing between the Note 10 Plus against the iPhone 11 Pro, not the Max variant, because of its ridiculous price of the iPhone 11 Pro Max, where even though this is not the highest variant, but the price of the 11 Pro alone is 700 ringgit more than the Note 10 Plus. So this is the closest I would compare in terms of price, where although the Max variant comes with a bigger screen and a slightly bigger battery, but the camera remains the same, and I personally don't think that many would even look into the Max variant due to its crazy price tag. But then again, who knows? Now in terms of the phone's design and build, the Note 10 Plus surely looks more like a 2019 phone compared to the super outdated design on the iPhone 11 Pro, except for the camera at the back. Now the phone has a glass back, but the iPhone has a matte finish instead of a glossy finish, which is very similar to the Google Pixel lineup, where although the Note can attract lots of fingerprints, it had a more futuristic finish. So this comes down to what kind of finish that you prefer. Then the camera bump on both of the phones are pretty thin, which means that you can put the phones on the floor and type it on the surface without much issues. And speaking of an old design, the iPhone 11 Pro comes with a thicker build too, and although the battery is way smaller than the Note 10 Plus, this looks way much sleeker as well. So yes, when it comes to the design, hands down, this goes to the Note 10 Plus, but when it comes to durability, the iPhone 11 Pro has a slight edge due to its matte finish at the back, but this could be countered by having a great quality phone case like this Pigeon Clear phone case, which I've just reviewed, which gives a Note 10 Plus great protection without ruining the aesthetics of the phone. Now speaking of aesthetics, the Note 10 Plus comes with the buttons only on the left hand side to give that minimalist look, where although the iPhone has an alert slider, which I'm a huge fan of, but the Note 10 Plus comes with a dual SIM and micro SD card slot, which supports up to 1 TB of space compared to a single SIM card slot on the iPhone 11 Pro. Now looking at the phone screen, the Note 10 Plus comes with a massive 6.8-inch Super AMOLED screen, where the iPhone 11 Pro comes with a 5.8-inch Super Retina XDR OLED screen, which is LG's OLED screen. Now size aside, when it comes to multitasking, I did not find any issues on both phones, but where the Note shines is of course when it comes to viewing videos, where the Note 10 Plus was brighter, where I had to increase the brightness on the iPhone 11 Pro just a bit more to match the Note's brightness, and also since the Note comes with a higher screen resolution of 1440 by 3040 pixels compared to the only 1125 by 2436 pixels, and a higher pixel density of 498 on the Note compared to 458 on the iPhone, hands down the winner is the Note 10 Plus when it comes to consuming videos on the phone. And let's not forget the super distracting notch on the iPhone compared to the Infinity O display on the Note, which you'll barely notice is even there. Okay, so with all the hype behind the iPhone 11 Pro's camera, let's see how the camera performs. Now when it comes to camera specs, the Note 10 Plus has a 12 megapixel f1.5 to f2.4 variable aperture 27mm wide lens, a 12 megapixel f2.1 52mm telephoto lens, a 16 megapixel f2.2 12mm ultra wide, and also a TOF 3D VGA camera, where the iPhone 11 Pro has a 12 megapixel f1.8 26mm wide lens, a 12 megapixel f2.0 52mm telephoto lens, and a 12 megapixel f2.4 13mm ultra wide angle lens. So yes, that's 4 cameras on the Note 10 Plus and 3 on the iPhone 11 Pro. Now both phones gives you the option to use all 3 lenses within the camera app, and looking at the camera samples, the ultra wide angle lens for both phones were great as expected, but as you guys can see, there's a slight green to warm tint on the images on the iPhone 11 Pro, where you'll surely need to adjust the color temperature on the images. While the main lens on the iPhone looks better than iPhone's own wide-angle lens, you can see now the color temperature shifts just a bit cooler instead, but the image quality is equally as good as the Note 10 Plus. Then looking at the 2x zoom-in images, the quality was also the same, but again the color temperature changes back to a warmer tone on the iPhone 11 Pro. And this was the same throughout another backlight situation for all the lenses, where again there's more consistency in terms of the color temperature on the Note 10 Plus, where it shifts between the lenses on the iPhone 11 Pro again. And since I was the one who took the photos, the images on the Note 10 Plus was surely more accurate on the colors. Then looking at the portrait mode, both phones gives you the choice to adjust the background blur before and after the shot with the iPhone, just implementing that, so that is great. But when it comes to the edge detection, thanks to its TOF depth sensor, the Note 10 Plus does a better job, where in this image, the iPhone had no idea that the shadow of this mug wasn't even an object, so it was recognized as the object instead. And the edge detection, if you guys zoom in closer, isn't as accurate. And as seen in this image of this tree bark, the dried bark towards the left was blurred out on the iPhone 11 Pro, so it did not do a good job on those edges. Then as for the night shots, the Note 10 Plus floors the iPhone 11 on the ultra-wide night shots in terms of the dynamic range and image quality. Now there is a slight improvement on the image quality for iPhone 11 Pro's main lens, but it still falls short compared to the Note 10 Plus, and there was this weird artifact when you zoom in closer on the images, as you guys can see. And the same could be said for the 2x zoom images for the image quality, where there was more noise image on the iPhone 11 Pro. So this makes me wonder, yes, the camera is great by itself, but if you really compare it side to side with the Note 10 Plus, as you guys have seen, it looks way better on the Note 10 Plus. So there you have it. Now at first I thought because the Note 10 Plus had a better screen, but when I put it on the PC or my Mac, you can see how it turned out to be, as you guys have seen. Now as for the phone's front camera, the Note 10 Plus comes with a 10 megapixel f2.2 aperture, where the iPhone 11 Pro comes with a 12 megapixel with also an f2.2 aperture. Now the regular selfie shots were great, but again I was surprised with the better skin tone and also brightness produced with the Note 10 Plus. Since both had the same aperture value, the pictures look a tad bit darker on the iPhone 11 Pro. And when it comes to the portrait selfie, the images on the iPhone 11 Pro turned out a bit softer, especially on the areas of my hair. And again, the edge detection for the front camera was also better on the Note 10 Plus. Now let's not mention about the extra capabilities of using the S Pen on taking photos remotely for selfies, but I just mentioned it, so yeah. Now as for video, both phones record high quality video up to UHD 2160 up to 60 frames per second, where the image quality was amazing on both devices, where you can utilize the 3 lenses even while recording on a device, which is great to know. But the only difference between both phones is a slightly warmer color temperature on the iPhone 11 Pro. But other than that, they both had great video quality. And one big advantage on the Note 10 Plus is the fact that it had the super steady mode, where it was properly stabilized even when I was running, compared to the iPhone 11 Pro, as you guys can see. Then looking at the phone's front camera, the Note 10 Plus records up to UHD 2160 up to 30 frames per second, but the iPhone 11 Pro comes with a higher frame rate of 60 frames per second on UHD, and then there's also the slow motion feature on 1080p up to 240 frames per second. Then when it comes to video quality, again the iPhone was a bit darker and the Note 10 Plus was just a bit more stabilized too. So now let's test out the audio recording for both phones. Alright, so this is the audio test of the iPhone 11 Pro. So let's check it out and compare between the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So this is the audio comparison between the iPhone 11 Pro, as this is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So let's check out the overall audio for the phone. So, which one do you prefer? Now speaking of audio, both phones have a stereo speaker with Dolby Atmos support. Now the Note 10 Plus had a way better volume for its speaker, and that could be because of its bigger size. But the iPhone 11 Pro had just a bit more bass to it, and here's a quick sound test.
This is Dolby Cinema. It's where the most advanced cinematic experienced begins. This is Dolby Cinema. It's where the most advanced cinematic technology you've ever experienced begins.
Now, as for the phone's battery, just for specification's sake, the Note 10 Plus comes with 4300 mAh of battery with fast charging at 45 watts. Where the iPhone 11 Pro, just for the sake of specs, it comes with a way smaller battery size of 3046 mAh of battery with only a maximum fast charge of 18 watts. Now, due to its huge difference in battery size, I felt there was no point on comparing the battery usage of the screen on time on both phones, as we all know that who would win in this category as well, where even the iPhone 11 Pro Max comes with a 3969 mAh of battery, where it's still lower than the Note 10 Plus, where, as I mentioned in my review of the regular iPhone 11, size does matter when it comes to screen on time usage. Now, as for the phone software, Samsung comes with a newly improved One UI, which is an amazing skin where thanks to the One UI, although the screen size is huge, you can still use the phone to scroll with one hand, thanks to features like swiping up to go to the app drawer and swiping from the middle of the screen to view the notification panel. Where the iPhone 11 Pro comes with iOS 13, the software navigation also felt outdated with the same type of icons and the typical scrolling from the top of the screen, which makes the phone difficult to use it in one hand. But I am a fan of Apple's AirDrop, but then again, we can talk all day about the iOS versus Android, but in the end of the day, it does come down to a personal preference. Now, in terms of gaming, both phones perform well as expected, so no issues over there. But what's great to know is that compared to the regular iPhone 11, the Pro variant has no issues when playing games like PUBG, where on the iPhone 11, the notch covered some of the information in the game, but that was not the case on the iPhone 11 Pro. And because of its stereo sound, both phones had a great gaming experience, but due to its thinner bezels, gaming on the Note 10 Plus was way better. And last but not least, let's look at the price and value. Now, I've already gave a spoiler earlier that the lowest variant of the iPhone 11 Pro is going for 4,899 ringgit for only 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage. 64 gigs of storage should be banned by now, to be honest. And the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus is priced at 4,199 ringgit with a massive 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. Alright guys, with all this comparison, do let me know which phone would you guys choose. Would it be the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus or still the iPhone 11 Pro? Do let me know at the comment section below. Now, if you guys would like to see a detailed spec list of the comparison between both phones, I'll link it down below. Now, aside from that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys found this video helpful in making your purchase decision if you guys are choosing between both phones. And if you did find it helpful, be sure to give this video a nice big thumbs up. Like and share this video to everyone you know who are actually trying to make a decision between these two phones, and subscribe to Adam Lobo TV if you haven't done so. Don't forget to hit the bell icon just next to it to get notified for my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. This is Adam Lobo and I'll catch you guys in my next video.